about being upstaged. Aren't they all wonderful? Are they back there, the other ones, or is it just you two? You are marvelous. I'm afraid that I cannot surpass this kind of talent.
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
How long did you rehearse?
Did this, actually. I'm from Manchester, UK. Busty is from Oklahoma.
Via the UK.
Via the UK. Lives in Oklahoma. We did this over Zoom.
Did you?
Yeah.
By Zoom?
By Zoom. So we've never met each other until yesterday.
My God, bravo! Really? So talented. Are you going back? Now, what happens now? I'm asking them a question. Sit down, sit down. Let's get this chair down. Because I want to ask these guys something, these ladies, these guys. How did you become so adept at what you're doing?
Oh
Tell me the story.
I started doing drag 6 years ago. I started here in the US, but I didn't start watching Star Trek till a year and a half ago. And then I just picked up doing Star Trek drag immediately, and I was like, this is so much fun. I get to be gay, and I get to be a Trekkie, and I get to do it in a really fabulous way that also pays homage to these amazing people on the screen that I now look up to. I mean, Star Trek and drag are fun, right? Good answer.
I'm a fan of 30 years, so I was around when you guys first came out. A bit of a golden child, never ever in trouble, and got suspended from school for jumping the wall when the VHS tape of Caretaker came out. And I was caught climbing back in and was suspended, which was great because I got home and watched the videotape, repeat. So my mother was very, very busy, a landlady, a people's person, looked after everybody except me. No, she did a wonderful job, but I always describe Katharine Janeway as my TV mother. So I was upstairs watching Voyager, and you kind of mothered me while I knew my mother was busy looking after people that needed to be looked after. So that's all. I'm a big fan.
So, is this what you do? Is this your profession? No.
Yes, it is mine. And next year is my 25 years in drag.
And tell me this, was RuPaul a great inspiration for you?
Well, absolutely. I mean, so much respect for what Ru has created and done. However, we kind of had our own RuPaul. Being British, our Ru kind of was Danny LaRue, if you know Danny LaRue, who passed away, which was a huge inspiration to me and the drag that I do, the seasides, comedy, slapstick, all that kind of stuff, impersonation and characters. So, God bless Danny, wherever, rest in peace. And long live RuPaul, and for bringing drag to the mainstream and giving us opportunities like this to perform like internationally and in prime time.
You know, it's a real craft. You do know that, right? I mean, there's a real discipline to this because you have to capture. Yes, I know it's drag, and I know it's extravagant, and I know you're using, but you have to understand the essence of the character you're impersonating, the person you're impersonating. You have to grasp that, or it won't work, right?
I have watched so many episodes with you in Voyager in lead roles for the last several days in preparation for this, because I'm trying to kind of capture your voice on stage, and I felt like I just sound like a really gay Hannibal Lecter. And he's kind of gay to begin with.
Remember that.
Not saying anything about the voice you put on for Voyager. Maybe a little.
And I have to say, since being the older queen up here, I was landed with the roles of Mary Ryan and Mrs. Columbo, which of course I was a little too young at the time to watch those characters and shows. So I took 5 weeks off in Cyprus and sat on the beach and watched all these shows and kind of just for research, but got into them and couldn't put them down. And I watched the whole Mrs. Columbo thing, and I kind of needed to know who'd done it at the end. And I got really into these sort of characters that, just opened a whole new world for me for TV to watch.
So I'm curious about this. Do you live in London?
No, I'm Northern Manchester.
You're in Manchester. So, do you play clubs? Do you play venues? Do you play theatres?
Clubs, bars, clubs, venues. I host game shows and quizzes and things like this. Work for the Pride events. Manchester Pride is one of the biggest in the country, things like this. And I work as an ambassador voluntarily for the George House Trust, which is a HIV aftercare service, which what it is for.
Good. And what kind of audiences do you draw?
Wow, it's kind of a mixture depending on the venue. The straight people kind of like.
Isn't this interesting? It's true.
Yeah, because I mean, our community, you guys have kind of seen all this before. It's the novelty's sort of kind of worn off. You have to constantly do new things. This was a new thing. This is not something I'd do in Manchester.
Yeah.
I'd be doing Cher or Dolly Parton or whatever. So I get called out to a lot of weddings and parties and birthday parties and things like that, I think.
But it speaks to my theory, which is what you do and what I do and what she does, what he does, it all resides within us, right? That's why you want, everybody runs in to watch you, because inside them is that longing too, to be just that expressive, that joyful, and that fun about it. But we take it all so seriously. However, you ladies really lifted me up and made my day. Thank you so much.
This has been
great.
an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give him a hand. Thank you so much.